Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers to the drawing on April 8th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, so with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see on my game card I have 5 colors. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. These represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Powerball homepage and find out what those numbers were. And they were the 3, 5, 9, 42, and 52. The Powerball was 11, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, and the Powerball is up to 186 million for this drawing. Okay, so you can see I put these 5 white numbers at the top of this list. Okay, again, they're the 3, 5, 9, 42, 52. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see with this game card, this is for April 5th. So I need to update it to the 8th. But before I do, I need to get the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 3 was green, the 5 was purple, the 9 was red, the 42 was purple, and the 52 was red. Okay, so the 3 was green, the 5 and the 42 were both purple, and the 9 and the 52 were both red. Okay, so 3 out of the 5 colors came up. And now I'm going to make this 233 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 114 times. Okay, so you can see that the 3 color combination comes up the most, okay? And what that means to me is that 2 colors are not coming up the most, okay? And that's what I want to focus on here. Okay, so the strategy here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so you can see that all 5 colors do come up. It's come up 17 times out of 233 drawings. So it comes up, but it's very rare. Okay, in fact, one just came up, so I'm kind of thinking that one won't be coming up for a little while. Okay, so now I need to update my card. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers that are in the red area over to the game card as red numbers. Okay, so I'll start with the 3, 5, 9, 42, and 52. Next line down is the 16, the 30, 31, 54, and 68. And the last line is the 11, 19, 21, 29, and the 52, which is already taken. Okay, so I'm going to make these red. And now I'm going to make this 14. Okay, so I got 3 and 3 are 6, 4 are 10, and 2 are 12, 2 more are 14. And the reason why there's 14 is because the 52 came up twice within this area. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the orange. I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over to the game card as orange numbers. So I'll start with the 4. The 9 is already taken, so the 24, the 46, and the 66. The next line down is the 19, which is taken, so the 26, the 36, 43, and the 58. The next line down is the 15, 17, 18, 47, and 57. The next line down, the last line, is the 27, 28, 37, 50, and 57, which is already taken. So I'll make these orange. I'll see how many I have. So I got 4 and 4 are 8. 4 more are 12. 4 are 16 and 1 is 17. Okay, so now I go to the green numbers and then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. Okay, but you can see I already did this game card, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so it was 14 red, 17 orange, turned out to be 10 green, 13 blue, and 15 purple numbers. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, okay, so what's the big deal about this? Okay, so the big deal is that when I came up with this color code through trial and error, I noticed that it gave me double-digit numbers per color, okay? And it does this just about every single drawing. Okay, so it's consistent, and that's the big deal. Okay, so when I'm thinking about the lottery, I think of nothing but chaos, or how chaotic it is. And within that, I found some kind of consistency. Okay, so I think that that's a big first step. Okay, so when you have something consistent, then things can get predictable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to predict what color group will not be coming up, and I'm going to eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so one of the first things I want to do is try to correctly guess what the majority will be. Will it be odds or evens? Okay, so looking at this, I notice as I go by, this should be blue and blue and blue. So a bunch of even numbers have been coming up. And I'm thinking that this is going to be odds. Okay, so I think more odd numbers are going to come up than evens. So what I want to do is I want to find the color that has the most even numbers to it. Okay, so I'll take a look at that. So I'll start off with the red, where I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 14 is not great. Okay, and then the orange is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 17, that's not too bad. Okay, and then green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, 4 out of 10, that's not great. Okay, and then the blue is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then purple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 15. Okay, so all right, I'm still thinking here. So actually, I think I'm gonna go with the green, even though it only had was it 4 even numbers to it. I like how it's come up in the last 5 drawings. Okay, and then you can see that there's no green here, and then it went another 5 drawings, and then no green. Then I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again with no green. Okay, so 5 drawings missed. 5 drawings missed. Now I'm up to 5 drawings again. And I'm hoping that history is going to repeat itself. I'm not going to predict that no green numbers are going to be here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of my game card. And hopefully these green numbers do not come up. Okay, so when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so if my guess is correct, then I just reduce the odds for myself by a little bit, just giving me, well, better odds to win some kind of prize with the Powerball lottery. Okay, so now I'm moving on to my next strategy. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to, like I said, a different strategy here. Okay, so this is what I call the individual numbers. This is where I wrote down every number 1 through 69 up at the top here. Okay, so the winning Powerball numbers are right here, the 3, 5, 9, 42, 52. Okay, so what I did here is I took the 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so this is group number 1. It holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers for 69 numbers. Okay, so this 3 right here, this tells me that it hit 3 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so in other words, 4 of these groups did not have a winning Powerball number to it in the last drawing. Okay, so the strategy is try to correctly guess what group will not have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate those groups of numbers off of the game card. Okay, but I want to show you how this works hand in hand with the color code. Okay, so here's the 3. It's green. I'm going to follow this plane until I find a 3 right here. And now I'm going to make this square green. And I'm making it green because the 3 is green. Okay, so let me go to the 20 numbers because it's a good example that I like to point out. Okay, so you can see these 3 red numbers. I want to point those out, kind of highlight those. Okay, so you can see that here's a red number, and I was like doing my videos and looking at this saying, hey, I don't see a red number. A red number hasn't come up in a while. I think one's going to come up. And finally it did. It was the 23. Okay, so, I wanted to find out, in a quick way of how many drawings it's been since this red number to this red number. Okay, so this is why I broke this down into 5 drawings, this big square right here. So it'll be easier for me to count. So I'll start with this one. Okay, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I got 33. Another 2. It's been 35 drawings. Okay, so that's why I broke it down into 5, so it's easier for me to count. But I noticed that since I did break it down into 5, I noticed that the average is like 4 drawings, like right here. 4 drawings per 4 hits per 5 drawings for these groups here. Okay, so when I see something like this one, I got this one correct, or I looked at it and I said, okay, it's been 4 out of 5 drawings here. I already have above average. I have 5, okay, and I said I don't think that there's going to be any winning Powerball numbers here, and none of these came up. Okay, so excuse me there. So that's how I use my game. All right, so I look for colors that hasn't come up in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this down so we could look at the whole game card. See what's going on. Okay, so again, the one that sticks out to me over here and the 1 through 9 is no orange numbers. Okay, so it's been 5, 10, 15. Well, we're looking at 20 drawings so far without an orange number. Okay, so let me blow this up real quick. Take a look at the game card. And I'm looking at the numbers of 1 through 9, and I see the 4 is the only orange number. Okay, so if an orange number comes up, it has to be the 4, right? So I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind for now. And I just wanted to show you how that works, all right? So I'm going to reduce this down again so we can take a look at the whole card again. Okay, so I went with no numbers at 10 through 19 in this last drawing. You can see I got that one correct. And I'm going to go with this one again, okay? Because ever since this lone number 1 here, it's been average, 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 above average, average, above, way above with 6 of them here. So it's been just so hot that I'm going to predict that it's going to cool down a little bit and have a couple of drawings where there's going to be no colors that come up. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the 10 through 19 numbers off of my game card. Okay, but before I do that, I want to take a look. Okay, so I see red, orange, green, blue, purple. All 5 colors are pretty close, so that's really no big help. Then I got red, orange, green, blue. The purple's a little bit behind on the 20s, but nothing too great. So I got the red, orange, green, blue here in the 30s, and the purple's way down here. So it's been 5, 10, 15, 20. We're looking at about 24 drawings. So I'll take a look at those 30s for the purple. In the 40s, I see red, orange, green's a little bit low, and blue and purple. The 50s, I got red, orange, green, blue, purple. They're all right there. And then the 60s, red, orange, green. The blue's a little bit low in the 60s. The green in the 40s. And the purple in the 30s. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so like I said, the purple is a little bit lagging in the 30s, so let's take a look at that. I got rid of all the purple numbers. No, I didn't. I got rid of the green. So I got the 34 in purple and the 35. So I'll keep those 2 numbers in the back of my mind. Okay, and then the 40s was green, so we'll take a look at that. I don't see any green numbers yet. 43, 46, 47. The reason why I'm pointing those out is I want to see how close they are to the green area. Okay, so the 37, if that doesn't come up, it's going to be green for the next drawing. Okay, and the last one was the 60s. It's the blue that was a little bit low. So I got the 60 and the 65. Okay, but again, the overall strategy is to eliminate numbers, and I'm going to get rid of the 10 through 19 numbers. So I'll get rid of the 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'll get rid of those. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so the next strategy is my groups. I call this group 4 because I divided the 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, so I got red, blue, orange, green, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so the 3, 5, and 9 were all in red. So I'll put 3 in the red area. Again, that represents the 3, 5, 9. And then I had the 42 in orange and the 52 in green. So there's no winning Powerball numbers in the blue area. So this is the strategy. Try to correctly guess where the 0 is going to be. Now, if I could have, eliminated all these blue numbers off of my game card, I could have gave myself a really good chance at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so moving on here. Okay, so again, it hit 3 of the out of the 4 color groups. The majority of the numbers were over here to the left side, so I'm going to color this 3 red. If the majority was to the right side, I would color the 3 green. Okay, so the reason why I do that is when I see a bunch of green like this, I look at it as like flipping a quarter. You know, how many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails, okay? Same thing here. It's either red or green. And when I see a bunch of green, I think it's going to start to turn red here pretty soon. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I see a streak of red here. And I'm going to predict that this is going to be a green number. So I think the majority of the numbers will be on the right side. And I'm looking at this big line of, I call them hits. And I'm thinking maybe a 0 is going to follow up. Okay, so I'm going to keep on thinking about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to Powerball number 2. Okay, so here's another group of option cards here. Okay, and the reason why I actually have Powerball number 3 as well, and the reason why I have 3 of them is because I like to keep track of every 3 drawings. Okay, and by doing this, I'm always gonna have a different viewpoint. So I'm gonna update this again. It was the 3 in the blue, 5 in the red, 9 in the green, 42 in the blue, and 52 in the red. Okay, so I had 2 in the red, the 552. I had 2 in the blue, the 342. And then the 9 was in the green. Okay, so there's no winning Powerball numbers in the orange. And it hit 3 out of the 4 color groups. And the majority of the numbers are over to the left side, so I'm going to color this 3 red. Okay, so you can see that I have 2 numbers at the top here, where with this one I only have 1 number. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Powerball number 3, where I already updated this just to kind of speed things up. So the thing about this is that this is where I'm putting colors to it. Okay, so this is the advantage of having 3 drawings and then I'm putting a color. Okay, so I call this a 000, kind of matches up over here. So I'm going to color this a dark blue. Then I got 2 hits and 1 miss, so I'm going to color it a lighter red. And there was 2 zeros, I'm going to color this a light blue. And then this is a triple hit, where I'm going to color it a dark red. Okay, so over here, these are the tools that I created here. This tells me how many blue marks. Okay, so there was 2. And this, how many triple hits did I have? I had this 1 in the green. And how many triple zeros? I had 1 in the orange. Okay, so the majority of the numbers are over to the right side, so I'm keeping this 4 green. And now I'm going to highlight that as well. And now this is all updated. Okay, so again, you can see I have no numbers at the top. And to me, this is the one that's hardest to pick. Okay, because I have no clue of what's going on yet. Compared to Powerball number 2 here, where I have 2 numbers at the top. And now I'm going to be putting colors to it. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to stick with this Powerball number 2 because this one has the advantage. Okay, so when I run out of option cards for Powerball number 2, I'll come back to Powerball number 1, where at least I have 1 number at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go through these. Now with this group 4, I kind of go through them pretty quick, because I hardly ever pick from them unless I see something really, really good. But I do try to use this information, like any way that will give me any kind of benefit. And what comes up a lot is a triple hit. Okay, you can see triple hits come up a lot. In fact, I don't see any zeros at all from the information that I have. Okay, so usually a triple hit comes up and I got two opportunities here. Now this is where this comes in handy, because I think that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe that the majority of the numbers will be on the left side. Okay, so red is left, green is right. Okay, so I think the majority will be on the red. So I'm thinking that this one is the one that's going to have a triple. So I think that one of these red numbers will be coming up in this next drawing here. Okay, so here's something that I see, and this is why I make 4 different colors here. You can see that here's a couple light reds, and then it's a single one, single, 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 single. Now, if this is a 0, it's going to be this same color light red, and I'm thinking that it's going to double up. I mean, sometimes they double up. Here's one that quadrupled, tripled, another quadruple. Okay, so it happens all the time, and I think it's going to happen here. Okay, so I'm going to go with no green numbers off of my game card. Okay, so it's a 7, 8, 9, 16, 17. So I'll get rid of the 7, 8, 9. And then I got the 21, 22, 29, 30. Then the 37, 38, 46, 47. And then the 59, 60, 68, 69. And you can see that, that's pretty huge. Hopefully I got that correct, because that knocked out 17 numbers. Okay, so let's see if I can't get another one here. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to have a triple hit to it. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so one thing that I look for is a 000. These don't happen very often, but I don't see any yet for this option card. I'm going to move on. Here's another one where I don't see a 000. Okay, I'm moving on. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a green number. which means I think the majority will be on this side. I'm kind of liking this one for a triple hit. Okay, so I'll just keep that in the back of my mind for now. I think that's going to be a green number as well, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. And I'm thinking that this one's going to have a triple hit. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I didn't really see anything there. Moving on. And this is why I gave myself so many option cards, so I could just cherry pick through these things. Okay, so I kind of like this one because it only has this one blue mark from the information I have, where all the other colors have, well, this one only has two over here, but I think I'm going to go for this one as well. I think it's due for another blue mark. So if a 0 comes up here, I'll be making it blue. And I'm going to get rid of the 21, 28, 29, 30. So I get rid of the 28. And then the 8, 26, 31. So I get rid of the 26, 31. And then I get rid of the 35, 62, 55, 64. Then was the 47, 56. And then the 39, 49, 67, 69. So I get rid of the 39, 49. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on, this is my last option card. Or I'll think I'll just leave this one alone. Okay, so now I'm off to group 8A. Okay, so here I got 3 option cards, and then I have an overview. And the thing about this one is that, again, I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. But if you look over here, you can see a bunch of 4s and 3s and very little 5s. So usually this is like a 50-50 guess here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to correctly guess what this color is going to be. And I'm not sure, so I'll try something else. Okay, so a 000 happens a lot. And I got 2 opportunities. I got the blue and the green. right, so okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to predict that this red is going to have a hit to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this option card, this game card, over to the right. Okay, so here I'm going to get rid of all these numbers. It's for the last drawing. Okay, and now I'm going to move these numbers over there. Okay, so the 3 and the 41. Okay, so the 3, the 41, and the 50 is all that's left. So what I'm saying here is if I think that there's going to be a hit here, then one of these red numbers have to come up, if my guess is correct. So is it the 3, the 41, and the 50, all three of them? Okay, so I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm not going to pick. I don't like that one to pick where the 0 is going to be, so okay, a triple 0 does happen a lot. Same with a triple hit. And this red has been just so hot over here. I'm going to go with this and say no red numbers. Hopefully they're ready to cool down. Okay, so the 18 to the 22 and the 57 to the 60. So I'll get rid of the 57 and 58. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so you can see with this purple, it has the triple hit opportunity here. So there's a triple hit, 2 of them, 2 more over here. Does happen. I think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a hit here, so I'm going to move these numbers over here, see if there's any left. Okay, so the 23 to the 26 and the 52 to the 56. Okay, so I got the 23, 24, 25, 52, 53, and 54. So again, I think one of these numbers are going to come up as well. Okay, so moving on. Got a pretty good streak of green right here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. I don't know, I see a lot more red than green, so maybe this will be a green number. Okay, so I don't see too many of these triple zeros doubling up. I think that this is the only one. Oh, here's another one. I'm thinking that this is due. I'm going to go with this one. And I get rid of all these orange numbers, okay? All the odd numbers. So I get rid of the 45, 53, 65. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so here's the overview. 003 means that in this blue area there is no winning Powerball numbers in all three option cards. So you can see these 03s, they pretty much hover to the top. And when I see something like this gray where it's hanging a little bit low compared to the others, so I'm thinking, hey, I wonder if it's due to come up. And the blue and the green, I look at these and I wonder if they're going to double up like over here. You can see it quadrupled. There's a couple doubles, another couple doubles. Okay, so here's the green. I'm looking at the green and I only... Well, doubled up here and then it didn't do anything for the longest time. So I'm thinking that this is due to double up. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all the greens in all three option cards. Okay, so the 2 to the 28 and the 40 to the 67. So I'll get rid of the 2 and the 40. Excuse me. Okay, so moving on. Hopefully this will read a 2 like it has in the past. And I'll get rid of the 10 to the 13 and the 48 to the 51. So I'll get rid of the 48, 50, 51, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so one more. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 8, 16, 26, 34. And then I'll get rid of all the even numbers from the 46 to the 64. Except for the 52. So I'll get rid of the 54 and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so when I darken this blue, that means I knocked out the 54. Okay, so moving on to 8B. You know, I just look at this and all I see is red, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe that the winning numbers will be over here, the majority of them. And I'm kind of liking this blue to have a mist to it because it's just been so hot. Kind of liking this blue. Okay, so the 6, 16, 24, 34. So I'll get rid of the 6 and the 24. And then I get rid of the 40, 43, 50, 58, 69. So I'll get rid of the 43. Okay, so what do I have left? I got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so the reason why I believe in this game is because one time I reduced the numbers down to 10, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within those 10 numbers. You know, just a lot like this situation here. Okay, so that day I only got 2 correct. I only picked 2 correct. But I looked at it and said, wow, I gave myself a much better chance at winning a really good prize. So, again, that's why I believe in this. Okay, so I'm moving on. Okay, so the last dark green band, that means that all 3 of these were green. It's been a while. I'm thinking that this is going to be a dark green number, so I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Kind of liking this yellow to repeat. As far as a triple hit. Okay, so it's the 8, 13, 19, 31. So nothing there. And then I have the 42, 66, 47, 53. So I got the 42 and the 66 that are still alive. Okay, so this is a pretty good streak over here. A streak is 6 red. So I think that this is going to be a 0 and end the streak. So I'll get rid of the 130 and the 1624. And then I get rid of the 35, 65, 50, 58. And they're all gone. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this caught my eye over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a 000 because it's been so hot. So I'll go with that. So I get rid of the the 615, 18, 19, 27, 37, 46, and the 60, 69. So the 6, 19, 37, 60. So I'll get rid of the 27. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so let's check out the overview. Okay, so the first thing that caught my eye here is this green. How I had a bunch of single like it right here, doubled up, the 3 zeros doubled up. And right here, and right here, right here. Okay, that's never happened here in the green. And it has the opportunity, so I like that. So let's take a look at this, okay? So I got the 8, 14, 26, 31. So I got no numbers there, and then I got the 42, 48, 60, 66. Okay, so I got that 42, 66 again. Then in this one I got the 427, 9, 14, 26. Then I got the 38, 62, and then the 48, 60. Well, I don't have any of those, so hopefully it's not going to be a 3-0. Okay, so moving on. Group 8C here. Okay, so another 3 option cards with an overview. I kind of like this yellow. I have a triple hit to it, so I got the 3, 13, 22, 29. And I also had the 41, so I'm going to mark that. Again, I like the 341. Other than that, I don't like anything, so I'm moving on. Again, the 000 comes up a fair amount, so I got an opportunity with the orange. Okay, so here's something that Okay, so right here for this gray, I'll work my way up just in this column. So I got a single, 0, single, 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 single. Another single, single. Then it doubles up here. And I think it's going to double up again. So I think that this is going to be a 0 right here. So I'll get rid of the gray, the 5, 15, 16, 8, 9. So I get rid of the 5 and the 35 crescent moon to the 38. And there's nothing there. Okay, so hopefully that 5 does not come up. Moving on. Okay, so you can see it started out green, then a little bit of red, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a red as well. So I'm thinking the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm thinking it's green for a hit. Well, I'm not sure if I like this one. I'm going to move on. Check out the overview. Okay, so here in this blue, the 03 is way down here. Let's check that out. Well, so far I don't like any of the blues. I guess I don't mind this one. I think I'll go with this one right here. See if there's anything left. Okay, 18, 19, 27, 28, 29. Nothing. And then 60 to the 69 there. No, nothing. Okay, so that's it. So I'm moving on to group 10. This is my last group with the advantage of 2 numbers at the top. Now here with a group 10, this is the best odds because there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers. And there's 10 different groups, so I know that 5 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. And what I noticed is a 000 happens a lot. So you can look down and you can see that there's no zeros here at all. So there's always at least one 000. And I have the opportunity in the purple, in the yellow, and pink. And I'm kind of liking this yellow. So I'm going to go with the yellow. So I'll get rid of the 17, 25, 26, 33. So I'll get rid of the 25, and hopefully that does not come up. And then the 50, 51, 59. There's no numbers there. Okay, so moving on. Again, a 000 comes up all the time here. So I got the red, purple, pink, or brown. Now I'm looking at this green, and I think that this is going to be a hit to make this a red mark. That they already marked it here. Okay, so I'm going to transfer these numbers to 3, 7, 13, 17. And then the 35, 41, 51. So I got that 341 again. I was hoping to break those up a little bit, but I guess not. So moving on. Oh, I'm sorry, I never picked a 0. I'm not the wrong one here. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm thinking that the 000 is going to be here in the pink. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. So I'll go with this pink. And I'll get rid of the 11, 12, 15, 25. So there's no numbers there. And then the 50, 60, 65. Again, no numbers. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so right here it really catches my eye with all these zeros here. I think that this is going to be a hit for a red mark. And there's that 3 again. Okay, so I'm really liking a 3 to come back up again. Okay, so for a 000, I got blue, purple, brown, and light blue. kind of liking the purple. The 20, 28, 29. Nothing there. Then the 38, 39, 48, 58, 59. Nothing there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the overview and look for that 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so you can see that most of them are pretty much to the top, except for the turquoise. Now this has been really hot, so maybe it's due to have a 03 to it. I'll go for it. Okay, so the 15, 23, 31. Get rid of the 23. Okay, so here the 52 is left, so I'm going to go with that. Now the 52 just came up and the 3 just came up. I mean, it's happened before where those two numbers have come right back up again, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so I'm getting down there. I got 5 and 3 are 8, so I got to get rid of 3 more. And I'm looking at the turquoise here. Oh, that would get rid of that 42. I'll go for it. So I'll get rid of the 42. I got to get rid of 2 more numbers. Okay, so here. Oh, that will get rid of that 52, so I can't do that. Alright, so I'm just moving on and going to, that's all I had for Powerball number 2, so I'm going to Powerball number 1. And I'm going to go right to Group 10, where I had the best odds. Okay, so a 000 comes up the most, so I'm looking at the ones that have a 0, the green, purple, yellow, pink, brown, and light blue. You can see this pink one. The last 000 is way down here, so I'm going to go for pink. Oh, that will knock out that 66. Well, I can't do that because I already knocked out the 42. Okay, so I thought I saw something where I knocked out the 44. I think this one's supposed to be knocked out. Okay, so I'm down to 6. And actually, I think that 4 was supposed to be knocked out. The 4 right here. So I'll get rid of that 4. And that would bring me down to 5 numbers. Okay, so the 3, the 36, the 41, the 52, and the 66. I was thinking that the majority of the numbers would be odd, but hopefully they won't be. Okay, so now I got to pick out a Powerball number. Okay, so let's see if this is up to date. It was the 11th. Yeah, the 11. Okay, so over here on the left side, there's 26 red ball numbers total. So I just divided the numbers into two. So if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Over here on this side, the right side, I divided the numbers into odds and evens. So if you see a red number, that's odds. If you see a black number, that's evens. Okay, so looking at this, I see 4 red in a row. I'm thinking that this next one's going to be black, which means I believe the Powerball number will be evens. And over here, I think that this is going to be a blue number, so I think it's going to be a low even number. Okay, so I was kind of looking at this earlier. It's the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 is what I'm looking for. And I'm probably going to go with the oldest one. Okay, so here's the 4, 8, the 12, 2. So I got the 2, 4, 8. So I need the 10. Here's the 10. And the only one left is the 6. Which is right here. So I'm going to go with the 6. It's been a little while since it came up. And hopefully it's due to come up again. Okay, so again, I'm going to go with the 3, 36, 41, 52, and 66. Okay, so I think Sherlock Holmes said it the best when he said, it's a matter of deduction. So if, and the big word here is if, these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's take a look at the odds. Okay, so to get all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the grand prize, which is worth $186 million for this drawing. To win it, the odds are 1 in 292 million that you'll get everything correct. Okay, so my game is mostly geared up for the white balls. So my goal was just to get the 5 white balls correct. Now, if you do that with the power play, it pays $2 million. And if you don't play the power play, it will pay you $1 million. Okay, so that $2 million prize is there every single drawing. Okay, so just to get the 5 white balls correct, you can see the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Okay, so another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and the red ball. That pays $50,000 plus the power play if you play it. And you can see that the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so I like to have a budget, play responsibly. So if I spend $3 per ticket, there's 3 drawings per week. There's 52 weeks in a year. I will spend $468 if I play every drawing. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so in closing, I just want to thank you for watching. If you made it through the whole thing, I really appreciate you staying. Okay, and again, you can support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $186 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.